Bills. Nice little graphic there. Bills
we
minus
need a better
3.
name than upcoming matchups.
We'll think about that.
Like that's so
production meeting tomorrow.
Right. We need Steven D'Agostino on it. Like Brian Rubin, our producer today, B. Rubes is like matchups, upcoming matchups.
Stephen getting a lot of love on the show after he
exactly.
invented the last segment as well.
1,000%. Steven D'Agostino, like the anti-M. Night Shyamalan.
The anti-M.
Love Steven D'Agostino.
If you want to come on the show, M. Night Shyamalan, you can come on. Explain to us what you were thinking with The Last Airbender.
Explain to us what you're thinking with every movie but The Sixth Sense.
Yeah, exactly. And The Fifth Sense, the lesser-known prequel.
Yeah.
Okay, Bills minus 3
sir.
at Ravens. The total is a juicy 51.5. That's very high. And these are the two MVP favorites right now, Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen.
Yes, you should start both of them.
Yeah, you should start
There
both
you go.
of them.
Hashtag analysis.
Mahomes is slightly ahead of Jackson on MGM at plus 500, but the winner of this matchup between the Bills and the Ravens is going to see their quarterback as the MVP favorite. And also, if the Ravens win, very good chance they get the 1 seed. Just quickly, MVP, just head-to-head, Allen, Jackson, who do you like?
I like, I like Lamar Jackson.
Okay, I
prefer Lamar. I like Lamar Jackson I think that's just the better bet, right?
Yep.
I mean, because Allen's sort of the obvious one here, and we've already seen them stumble a little bit. Like, that's a bad loss at Miami. And so I feel like there's better chances for Allen to, quote-unquote, lose the award than for Jackson to win it, right? Jackson is exceeding expectations this year in his contract year, whereas Allen was the presumptive favorite for it.
Yep.
And so there's nowhere to go but down for Josh Allen.
Yep.
Like, because the expectations are already always so high.
Yeah, everyone's anointed Josh Allen. He still does like to throw it up for grabs. He could have had 2 or 3 interceptions against Miami easily. He just got a little bit lucky. Okay, let's talk about some of his weapons. Isaiah McKenzie. Is he a flex wide receiver this week?
I don't think so. I'm at wide receiver 51. I need to see it for. Like, remember, week 3 he had 9 targets. Great. But that was 6 targets total after 6 targets total in the first 2 weeks. He has scored in 2 or 3 games, so that's nice, but those are so fluky and hard to count on. Again, Gabe Davis missed one of the games in that stretch here. I want to see it one more time. Like, McKenzie should be rostered, but I'm not starting him this week unless I'm in a super deep league.
Speaking of Gabe Davis, quiet after a big week 1. You still a believer?
I am. I'm as a top 20 play so far this week. He's played 96% of the offensive snaps so far this season. We know that Josh Allen likes to look at him when they get in close. He scored in week 1 against the Rams in that blow. He didn't play in week 2. They didn't really need him in week 3. I mean, they did, but like that was a fluky, weird game against the Dolphins here. If I'm starting a Bills wide receiver not named Stefon Diggs, friend of the podcast, Stefon Diggs, Chief Ball Officer Stefon Diggs, give me Gabriel Davis.
Okay, Devin Singletary,
Yeah.
who led the team in receptions and receiving yards against Miami. Is he just a one-hit wonder, or is he startable in this matchup and can be viewed as a weapon in the passing game going forward?
I think somewhere in between. So I'm at running back 24, so I'm hedging my bets a little bit here. I have him as a flex play, and I think he's viable as that, which is a flex play, there's some upside there, but there's certainly some risk, right? First 2 weeks of the season, he saw 5 targets total. Now, then last week, obviously huge, right? Career high in receptions in a single game. He saw 11 targets. He tied with Stefon Diggs for the team lead. So he was a massive part. But we just don't know. Was that just a game script thing where the Dolphins just played back and said, we're taking away Gabriel Davis. We're going to give you all the underneath stuff. And so they were just peppering Singletary. He got into the end zone of that passing touchdown as well. I'm more a believer than not. Again, I have him inside my top 25 this week. Certainly, if you're starting a Bills running back, it's going to be Devin Singletary. But I'm not sure that he's a big part of the passing offense yet.
Yep. Now, the running back on the other side, J.K. Dobbins, who makes his season debut last week, plays 26 snaps, doesn't really do too much. But, I mean, what do you make of him in this matchup in particular? Are you starting J.K. Dobbins, or we need to see more?
I need to see more. I also don't love the fact that he's going against Buffalo. Bills are the second best run defense so far in the NFL this year. Dobbins played 43% of the offensive snaps. So, he's not even playing half the snaps. And the majority of his snaps came on early down. So he's not involved in the passing game yet as well. He averaged 3.3 yards per carry, like a little bit of rust. So you're not sure if there's going to be any passing down usage. You're not sure how much work he's going to get. And, oh, by the way, he's playing the Bills. So I have him at running back 35 this week. He's outside my top 30. Ideally, you're not starting J.K. Dobbins this week.
Yep, longer-term play. Okay, let's get into the next game. Jags. I can't really say my Jags because I'm wearing the Atlanta Falcons jersey, but they are my Jaguars.
great call on Fantasy Football pregame on Sunday morning. You took the Jags to win outright at plus money. You made a lot of people money on that bet. Nice job there with a call. I think you can call them your Jaguars.
They are my Jaguars.
They are the Swagwars, 100%.
And you know what? The best bet in football at the moment on BetMGM, the Jacksonville Jaguars to win the AFC South at plus 220. That's too big. That should be more like plus 120. They're the best team in that division right now.
Jay spent 5 years of his life setting lines for a major casino, so you know your lines. If you're telling me that's a good bet, I'm going to do that right. You take over the rest of the show.
I'll take over. I'll introduce
some
it.
money on BetMGM.
Yeah. So we've got the Jags. They're plus 6.5 point dogs.
Right. I'm being told to do it during the commercial break. All right, what do we got?
Jags plus 6.5 at the Eagles. That's come down from 7. The Sharps love the Jags. The over/under is 48. Now Trevor Lawrence, who I don't mind. I don't think he's going to win MVP, but he's 35 to 1. He's long. He's at long odds, and his stock is rising by the week. Is he a number 1 quarterback in fantasy?
Honestly, if I'm going to bet on the Jags to do that, like I love your bet of them winning the AFC South, I'd rather bet on Doug Peterson for Coach of the Year.
That. Yes.
I think that's a really good bet as well.
Him versus Sirianni.
If the Jags make the playoffs, I don't know how Peterson isn't the Coach of the Year, given the disaster that they were last year under Urban Meyer. So Trevor Lawrence, most fantasy points of his career on the road at San Diego, at the Chargers, I should say, at the Los Angeles Chargers, and tied for the most passing touchdowns in his game in a single career. He had 3. Having said that, this is the Eagles, and the Eagles are legit. As much as it pains me to say this as a Commanders fan, I'm at QB 16. So I think he's a mid-tier QB2 on this one. I think better days are ahead for Trevor Lawrence. He's very much like we talked about Carson Wentz earlier in the show, as somebody who's going to be very useful down the stretch. I'm a believer of Trevor Lawrence, but maybe not this week against Philadelphia. They're for real.
They're the best team in the NFC right now.
They are.
Now, with the Jags staying there, is this now the James Robinson show, or is Travis Etienne still playable?
Not only is it now, it has been. It has been since the start of the year. James Robinson was on my preseason love list. We talked about this. Look, Doug Peterson likes to use multiple running backs. Guys, James Robinson is going to be the early down back. He's going to get the goal line stuff, and that's what's happened. He's had over 20 touches the last 2 games. He rushed for 100 yards for the 6th time in his career. He's out-snapping Travis Etienne. He's had 49% of the carries so far. I'm at running back 18. It's not a great matchup with Philadelphia, but he's got the much better chance at a touchdown here. And, yeah, he's getting a lot of volume. The concern on James Robinson coming into the season was volume and health. Well, he's answered the health question. You know, the fact that he's obviously back and getting this massive workload. And honestly, the opportunity is there. Now, the Jaguars have been tied or leading in most games so far this year, so they haven't been in neutral or negative game script where they've had to pass a lot, and Etienne is their passing down back. But again, either way, Doug Peterson has been clear as I'll get out throughout his NFL career. He likes multiple running backs. And so James Robinson is between the tackles thumper.
Yep.
Between the tackles thumper. I will say that if ever there was a week for Etienne, because we expect them to be down, like they're almost a touchdown underdog to the Eagles here. If ever there was a week, Travis Etienne, this is the week.
Just quickly, the most interesting...
But I have him outside my top 30, just to be clear. I'm starting Robinson over Etienne.
To me, the most interesting thing in the NFL right now is that teams are playing too high safety and quarters coverage more than they have ever before, so there's never been a better time to run the ball efficiently. Doug Peterson, I think he definitely understands that. 91 carries for the Jags through 3 weeks. All right, last game. Patriots at Packers. Firstly, we've got some sound from Mac Jones.
Like I said, just... it is what it is, and I'm just going to focus on day by day and get my treatment and do what I do. And, it's football, it's physical, so feel good about it. And like I said, if you have any more specifics, you can talk to Coach Belichick about it.
It was nothing specific. I didn't have to ask Bill. I was just wondering how it felt.
Awesome. Thanks.
He's learnt well from his coach, Bill Belichick.
He has indeed. There. Awesome. Thanks.
Now, quickly, the market, in terms of what the market is doing on this game, the line is Packers minus 9.5, home to the Patriots. The over-under is 40. Now, the lookout line on this was only minus 6.5, and so the market is saying it's only a 3-point difference between Mac Jones and Brian Hoyer. To me, that's not enough. I think this line gets up to 10.5, maybe 11. I think it's more of a 4 to 5 point gap. But what do you think the Patriots quarterback situation does to Damian Harris and Ramondre Stevenson this week?
I think it increases their usage, right? I think both guys are very flex viable. I have I have Stevenson inside my top 30. I have Harris just outside my top 30. But both guys are going to get a bunch of work in what's already a run-heavy offense, and with Brian Hoyer under center, who's fine. Brian Hoyer's...
Is he? He's fine?
He's fine.
Okay, he's okay.
For what they need to do.
Yeah.
Like, you're not starting
He'll call the
Devontae
plays.
Parker or anyone else. But my point is that I think both Stevenson and Harris, in that order, are... they're touchdown dependent a little bit, but they are flex viable. Again, Stevenson 16 for 101 in the touchdown on 4. He also had 4 targets. Harris 13 for 46, got 2 targets. He also scored last week as well. Remember, the Packers allowing 5.4 yards per carry to opposing running backs. You can run on Green Bay, that through 3 weeks is the 18th worst run defense in the NFL. Like, they're in the bottom half of the league. You can run on Green Bay, and that's my expectation of what they want to do with Hoyer under center and Rodgers on the other side.
I think the Chicago-Green Bay game was instructive, where Green Bay knew Chicago was running every single time and still couldn't stop them. I think it's going to be a similar situation this week against the Patriots. So I think that I would even lean the under 40, as low as that is, just because the Patriots are going to be running the ball so much, bleeding clock. And I think that Green Bay, they still have some questions about their offense as well. All right, we're going to go to break. When we come back,
you like the Packers. You like betting the Packers because you think the line should spread even more.
I like the Packers minus 9.5. When we come back, we're going to talk about your growing bromance with the Denver Broncos and the AFC West market.
I believe. Let's ride.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.